Good morning, good morning. We're coming in a little bit early. Setting things up. P just found her car. She's pretty excited about that. That's what happens when you clean up.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. I think it's highly overrated. Usually when I clean up, I put things where I think they should be, and then they are never to be found again.
Until the next cleanup.
Yeah, till the next cleanup.
Sometimes it is like an archaeological dig.
Well, they were kind of, I'm not sure. There are my sticks, too. I need those.
The mixer sticks.
Mixer sticks.
They've had many lives. Corn dogs, mixer sticks. Sometimes the baby plays with them.
She makes popsicles with her Play-Doh. They have multiple uses, and I highly recommend that you do save these. You can buy them, of course, but I mean, and the nice thing about acrylic, now once I do start using them for brushes, which I usually don't, they're stained and I don't reuse them because they can really muss things up. Apologize for the voice thing ahead of time. Allergies are kicking in.
All right. So
Everything kind of in the screen there?
everything's in the screen. We'll kind of wait for some people to arrive.
Oh, good. Can I mess around with my
Yes,
Play-Doh things
you
here?
can mess around with your Play-Doh things. Be careful because some of those may. Did you wash all those?
I think that these are the ones that I pulled out of the bathroom that have been already washed.
Because there's nothing worse than
You know,
like Play-Doh. I don't know what to call it. It's really like,
yeah, no, see, I'm going to go ahead and use, oh no.
see, and that is the
Oh
worst.
no.
Because it sort of gets everywhere.
Okay, well that probably, I want to mix my,
You want me to go wash that?
well, or I could probably just do it with a paper towel.
We have one person. It could just be Brad. Who knows?
Yeah, chime in there so we know who you are. Chime in, don't be shy. We're just mucking about. And I'll just talk about my colors that I've mixed up. These are, oh, have we already talked about this? I can't remember. Mariah and I talked about it. But anyway, these are really lovely little containers. And
Here's some little ones. That one's going to require a little soaking.
I know, I have a little one. I needed the bigger one because I'm going to mix up rather a large,
What is this one?
large amount. Oh, does it have ooky stuff in it?
Well, let me see. A little bit. It's definitely going to be more cleanable than the other.
Because, you know, what happened with my lime green is it kind of just kept growing. Started out in a smaller container. And then I had to move it to this one because it wasn't quite limey enough. So, yeah. And you kind of have to burp them to get it shut. Push on this part and then push on this part at the same time. But they really are very, oh, see? Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's what I want to know about my paint lids. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Probably need to move along and use that up. Okay, then I'm just going to put that up there for chuckles and grins so that I can have it when I need to mix my paint.
Shiggles and giggles.
I usually have a...
Alright, if you're just joining us in, please let us know in the chat that you're here so we can chat with you. And if you are new to the channel, always, please subscribe, like this video, do all that stuff that people do when they like something. What is that for?
Well, I'm going to glue that inside there so that I'll actually, because it's not, my paint's not going to be black.
Oh.
Now, all these other paints, they are the color of the lid, sort of, kind of, you know, in the family.
Right. Okay, number one thing, of people in here.
We don't have a lot of people. Oh, good.
But,
well,
yeah,
I'm
we're
just going to
gonna
carry on. Carry on, Sally Forth.
That's right. So, number one thing we want to talk about, because holy moly, did this stencil that you see on the screen here require all of my brain power and then some.
It's probably in billable hours about $2,000 worth.
It's like that thing that you see every once in a while. For those crafty people, you've seen the post where it's like, oh, I can make that for, you know, you can either buy it for $10 or you can buy $100 worth of craft supplies to make it yourself. This definitely fell under that sort of category. Although, we needed these leaves because they match our papers. Because P made a stamp. And the stamp no longer exists.
Yeah, the stamp has been recycled.
Well, it's not really recycled. It has evolved.
Evolved, that's a good one.
Yes.
Because that is
it's like the Pokemon.
It's one of those.
It's gained power.
I love it. I hate it kind of things about kneaded erasers. Oh Lord. I can just drag one out here and I can show you how that happens. See this? This is the back side of a pumpkin. And it kind of fell apart, but
is that what you put it back together? Is it a Humpty pumpkin?
It's a Humpty Dumpty pumpkin. Really, seriously, I mean, it's a bit on the Frankenstein end of things. But that's what happens with these, and I sort of love that because it's like a natural, you know, sort of, nothing in nature is ever exactly the same from season to season. And you can see this leaf here. Well, you probably can't, but
yeah, it showed up.
Really?
I mean, I could see it on the little screen pretty good.
I don't think that this was it.
No, but it certainly was in the series because we did a whole series of leaf stamps, which were for cards and other, you know.
I'm not sure what that is.
Background reasons.
There's a little leaf that's very similar. And it could even, you know, it's definitely its cousin.
They are related.
Yeah.
We just don't know how distance.
Member of the leaf family. And you can see on there, you see that glitter stuff? Yeah. That stuff just keeps...
Alright, we'll talk them through the quick... I mean, we've rambled on about this. But anyways, it starts out as the stamp. P stamps it. I scan it, or take a picture of it, bring it in, and we actually have a video for that, so I won't go too crazy into detail, but that whole process that you saw on the video was lengthened by about, you know, times 20 for this here stamp leaf situation. Because if your images are not super clean, and you know, for the Cricut in particular, the software, the app, does some stuff on its own. I mean, and for a lot of instances, it's fantastic. But for something like this, it was not fantastic at all because it kept putting the lines, or combining all the little leaf lines that we need there. So I had to have an extremely clean image. So I had to bring it in at a higher resolution than I normally would. But I didn't think about all of those things, you know, until a couple of hours or more later. Took me a bit to get there. So this here stencil is some stuff.
And that's why it's making its
debut today.
Its debut today.
And it's getting a little bit, you know, of love in the beginning of our video here because I needed some love.
Okay. Now everybody's eyes are glazed over that, you know, all that techno talk there. All right, now we're going to get back to some, you know, actual hands-on stuff.
Are you going to talk about the paper?
I'm talking about the paper. Okay, now we've used two different kinds of paper. So I looked up this the first kind that we used. And it was called Blank Stencil Sheets. It was 15 pieces, 11 by almost 9, and it was $12 relatively. I can't remember if that was on sale.
And it'll change anyway, so don't get prices. It wasn't horribly expensive.
Wasn't horribly expensive. And I will tell you, the Yupo is pricey. And I doubt that they have a sale on that, because I don't think that they have to. They've got a monopoly on the market.
Well, they have a monopoly, but they certainly are the brand.
Yes. Okay, it's just, all it is polypropylene. It was 15 sheets, and it's about a little over $1 a sheet, as you can see there. What we paid for back in the day. But this is the stuff. It's tough enough, but it's not so horribly thick.
Is that the last sheet?
I think it is. Oh, no,
okay.
it's not. It's not. It's still flexible enough that you can get some things going on, especially with the gel plate, because you want it to suck down on the plate, and you want it to be close, that you don't have a bump there, because otherwise you're not going to get, when you brayer it, your brayer is just going to go over the top of it and skim it, and it's only going to go in the really fat places. You want it to go into all of those little intricate places that you have created. So I highly recommend the Yupo as a stencil paper. And it's held up quite well. I have some. Maybe I'll dig those out later on. And you can tell that I've used them multiple times because they have all kinds of paint on. I don't ever clean the paint off. I mean, what's acrylic? Acrylic is some, liquid plastic. Now, occasionally a lump of it does come off on my gel plate, and I just kind of live with it and say, oh, look at that.
We should try to remember to show them at the end of this thing the skin.
Yeah, and I'll have to remember where I put that because I cleaned off my desk.
Oh, goodness.
I think I can recall where that is. All right, so this is what we're going to be using today, this stencil. Do you want to start with the envelopes, or do you want to start with the paper? We've never actually printed on the, what you call that kind of?
Vellum.
Vellum. And depending on the moisture in the paint, vellum sometimes goes kind of wonky on you and gets all ripply and everything. I'm hoping that there's enough, and I don't use water to water my paints down at all. I use medium, because that water will get you in trouble. I'm hoping...
And it's a thin enough layer
that it's not going to get horribly wavy. A little bit of wavy we can deal with.
A little wavy we can deal with.
A little wavy we can deal with. All right, I'm going to put that aside for just a moment. And we need to do some... And I have not taped down which I may regret that later. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Because we weren't sure about where everything was here. And as you can see, there's some kind of mucky muck on the plate there, which hopefully we're going to be able to get off. I don't know, that looks really opaque. I don't know what the deal is with that. Well, we shall see. Who knows? All right, so here's my thought. You always start off with a plan. Or I guess it's more, if it's in its infantile stages, it's not necessarily a plan, it's a idea. That's what Izzy says. Izzy says.
It's an idea. It's not a plan.
So, right now,
Something
this
like
is just at the idea stage of things. I want my whole idea behind the printables is to take that stencil and go over the top of some of these printables, which have been printed right up to the edge. Isn't that lovely? And oh, come on.
What?
She did the camel thing.
Oh, Scotty.
Yeah. I've got some camo for you. No.
Dinosaur stomp.
Dinosaur stomp. I mean, that thing has, and I should dig that out and show it to you. It's funny. And here's some very large flowers. Here's the leaf again, just in a different, boy, that's kind of
So any of you that have seen our printable digital papers, yes. So that's the leaf before it got super cleaned up.
It still has mucky muck around the edges.
But we liked that.
Yes, we did.
Like that was purposeful.
Yes. I don't know that I want to do, I've got another stencil. I want to use that one. I don't want to use that one. I think this might be interesting.
We love our plaid.
We love our plaid. Now here, can you, this is so cool because you've got teeny tiny leaves and you've got great big leaves. I think that's going to be brilliant. I don't know that this is going to be brilliant, but I'm going to hold off on this one.
You would be surprised because that has now ended up as a, one of the many layers in some of our newer paper sets. So if you don't understand what we're saying, because I don't know how many people are going to be watching this back or whatever, but we also use our stamps and stencils and things to make digital printable papers. That's what you're seeing here. So we have actually printed them off. They're available on our website and over on Etsy if you're interested. There's always links below. So, click that later. Check them out. And that's our hope is with a lot of mixed media projects that sometimes you just need the right starting point. And certainly they have been for us, so we would love it if other people were able to use them, and that is also one of the reasons that we created the digital versions available to print. And so that's what we're doing here, and showing people now, this is one of the things that we do and how we create maybe even the next set of paper, or just something for a particular project that we're working on. Right?
Right. Okay. Now, the only problem here is I probably need to pull number one, my plate's really, really dry. It's been sitting over there, and
being neglected.
Yeah, I haven't. Well, I've been using my 5x7 and my smaller ones.
Don't tell it that.
But anyway, yeah, it's just been sitting and idling. Okay, is this in a good place, Mariah?
I believe so. I mean, if you wanted to, yeah, I mean, I think that that's very good. Okay. You could even slide it over ever so slightly and bring your other board.
This?
Yes. And then you can tighten that in, and then they're going to be able to see you do more brayer work too. There you go.
Yeah, because a lot of times what I do is I will mix over here. Now today I'm going to mix and put in here because I want to keep using those. Now the reason I was going through the prints there is because I was deciding, I'm going to start out light and then go dark. Simply because that I think that's the way to go.
Right.
Here. I don't know that. But here's the stuff that I use.
It's an idea. It's not a plan.
Idea. It's not a plan. Here's the stuff that we're going to use today. Now, we talked about this before. And, the gloss gel is a lot thicker than the matte fluid medium. But this is all I could get in matte at the time. They used to have, this brand used to have it in the matte finish, but I don't know.
We haven't been able to find it since.
We haven't been able to find it. I'm a little I'm not going to add any retarder right off the bat because I'm pretty much just going to use that one stencil. I don't really think that I'm going to need it. And I am going to go ahead and use the gloss because I'm going to mix it with gold.
Hey, and here's an idea.
Yes.
What about are you going to lay some paint down and then put the stencil so it helps hold it in place?
Oh, yes. Yes,
okay.
Definitely.
I was going to say, like, if you wanted to, what about even doing something really sheer or using one of the mediums? It's an idea.
Huh. Well, I never thought of that.
Because then, I don't really know what I'm trying to get at with that, but it could be interesting.
Yeah, well, what you're saying is that film that's on there, but the jelly plate pretty much will keep it in place. And it's really with the lighter weight Yupo, it doesn't squish around on you. You're more apt to have a squishy aroundy if you've got a lot of...
Squishy arounder.
of, if you have a
Hey, come to
layer.
our channel for a lot of technical terms. That's what we...
Oh.
Oh, goodness.
Mariah's blocking my pliers.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, now this golden, I love this stuff, but it's high dollar. And this is called Heavy Body. No, it isn't called Heavy Body. But golden does something called open. And what it is it just already has the retarder added to it. And you can pay for that, or you can buy this retarder. And okay, I want this even more translucent than it already is. This gold is pretty much. I want it more of a suggestion, so I'm using a whole bunch of this stuff to make it really, really, really transparent. I want it to be a suggestion of something on the surface there, rather than, you know, screaming at you. Okay. So we've got our gloss medium in there. You notice it hasn't changed the consistency, viscosity of your paint at all. It just kind of makes it a little bit more transparent. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to just pull a couple of prints here, simply just to kind of get us going here. And there's a lot more paint on there than you would really, really think. I'm just going to try to pull off some of this mucky muck here.
Mucky muck. Another technical term.
And that's not going to, there's no way that's going to pick up the stuff on the edge there.
Not yet.
Yeah. Usually it picks that up about the time that I'd rather it didn't.
Ooh, glazing.
Glazing, that's the term. Okay, well, we've still got some stuff on here. And I'm not going to be concerned about that. We've got some places where it's not. I don't care. This will not. I will go ahead and reprint on this later.
You'll see that again.
Yeah, you will. Now this piece out here does kind of bother me, but seriously, I am not even going to worry about that. Okay, use a little bit more. When you're,
I think it's good that we're doing the papers first.
I do too, because there's less.
You just don't know what's going to happen with those vellum.
We don't. And one of the things that Mariah did on this one is she went clear out to the edge, which I appreciate that, because I think that's going to be a big plus. All right, so I'm getting, hopefully.
Now it's down on the Epson, our little cartridge tank. You know, the tank Epson.
Yeah, which it's been a workhorse. The quality isn't quite as good as
image quality. Which we need to play with some of the settings. I think we might be able to get it there. Oh my god, that's so pretty.
Okay, now I'm going to do Mariah's thing. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it?
Look at that. And I can see it very nicely in this.
It's just, it's not, you know, smacking you. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get a ghost print here. I guess it wouldn't necessarily be a ghost print. It was probably just
Reverse.
a reverse. Or picking
this
up.
is masking versus stenciling. We had a
This
very
is-
long debate about this one day.
Odd.
Well, it wasn't long, but it was probably longer than one would typically have about
That
such
would- yeah.
things.
Would give a crap. All right, again, very subtle. You don't see it until you kind of move it around. And I've got some other papers that we will, okay, now we're going to pull a ghost print.
Now you're getting some
Now I can just barely see it on there. All right, what do you say to some of my violet here?
Is it violet?
It really is.
Lavendery?
It's lavendery. And this kind of is still going with our color scheme there.
Oh, we love some purple and gold.
Me too. And if I can manage to do this without mucking up my lovely little outlines. I mean, some of the very best prints that I've pulled have been using the something from the, we have absolutely, I guarantee you, no, I am not pushing hard on that at all because I'm trying to maintain the gold to be mixing. I want it just to be there for my, okay, all right, I'm just going to take a piece of paper and do this. Can you see it?
Can you see it? Can you see it?
I mean,
Ooh, a
it
little
is
bit.
just, okay, now that, I could have probably gone with a much darker color on that.
Hey, but that's really interesting because if you hold it certain ways, if you do the, you know, Mariah way of things, I mean, they really do show up. So that's fancy. I think that's fancy.
That's fancy. And that's something we can use in our thing. Now, I've probably got some more stuff out there that I don't necessarily want, and I want to put the lid back on that because I don't want it to. Although I think in this one I do have, I think I already put some retardant in there. I'm not sure. Can't remember. Okay, now back to our, and this is probably, this is going to be interesting because there's a little bit of, there's a little bit of purple still on there. I know it's hard to see. You can see it more. That we're going to probably pick up. That's okay. Because that's one of the reasons I chose that was because it's going to be part of our color scheme. I'm sorry. It's really hard for me to art. I don't usually talk when I do.
Sort of. Depends.
It's just,
And a lot of times
it's usually,
sugar. Sugar.
well, you can see a little streak there. That wasn't coming through. That wasn't coming through. Yes. Yeah, okay. I may have to mix in some retardant with my,
Yeah, you're drying up too quick.
I'm drying up way quick here.
But man, I'm really loving this. I mean, I'm quite pleased.
Okay, now,
Good job, Gigi.
yeah, okay. We're going to go to a new, we're going to try something different here. Well, I've got, and I don't know exactly what I have out there. It's hard to tell because it's kind of... Do I want to do that, or do I want to add some?
Do you say yes? Do you say no?
It's more of the kind that you see where it's like the pound sign. I don't want to use that. I want to use. Sorry.
It's like a game of chess with your hand on it. You got to use it. Right?
No.
You must play. You have chosen.
Okay, and I'm going to show you why I like to mix it up before because we're gonna get some tricks here, but it may be okay. I don't usually do this because I don't always I can't predict where my streaks are going to occur.
No, you're not. Is that what you're talking about? Is that you're not brayering on your...
Yeah, because I don't want to mess it up. I want to use that for, I need it for other things. But
the cat's visiting. Hello, kitty.
you can see what's going on out here, where I put down the color. Now, if I put down the gloss medium first, Kitty, you need to go meow at somebody else, okay?
It's like nobody's home.
All my peeps are gone. Okay, so we're taking this dark paper.
Ooh, wow, are you ready for that?
And I'm going to hold it so that I'm not skating across.
And let me tell you, that's a very expensive piece of paper. I accidentally printed it on my Canon printer, which is not the most economical way to print, especially something that is a full-on, like, I mean, there isn't even a micro area not covered by ink. This is what I'm trying to say. I hope our chat's working. I don't know. Oh.
Okie dokie. I think that's really...
I think you should have done the gold, but...
Well, what we could do here... I needed some more dark.
You think? Yeah, that's fine. Well, you should have showed it up to the camera first, but she's moving along. She's in her zone.
Yeah, that's what I have. Mariah's, she's the chat
Director.
You can see the edge of this when I needed to.
Oh, simmer down, kitty.
Well, I don't know that I love that. But see, we picked up some gold.
Yeah, I don't love that.
All right, well, we'll put this aside and we'll wait until we get to our dark end of things, because we are going to dark. And I'm going to, instead of...
All right, do you need to move some of those and stack them?
Well, I think that they're probably going to be okay. I think that we've just about eliminated all of our darks, except I wanted to do this. This is one that was created from a combination.
Okay, so that particular paper was kind of one of those things that its original form was actually a bit smaller than that, or at least that piece that we used was a bit smaller. But we loved it so much because it had such cool layering, almost galactic. You like that?
Yeah.
Galactic.
I like it.
But one of the things is obvious, well, it may not be obvious, but was that it had the Calera watercolor, the metallics, on the original. So obviously then whenever it turned to a digital paper, you would lose that. But it's still some very cool paper. And so we put it in the next set of papers, which was the Twilight. So it started out as the original in Mountain Sunrise, which was our journal that we created based on papers. So a lot of times when I'm referring to these sorts of things, it means that, number one, it started out as a paper set, and then a journal, and then some of those original papers that were in that journal transition over into the next. Everything we do has a certain evolution about it. Right, Chi-Chi?
It does. Sorry, I'm just looking at this and not loving it. You know,
Yeah, we're not quite getting
sometimes you do things and they're just wonderful, and then sometimes you're just going, yeah, what the hey?
What the hey?
What the hey? What the hey? All right, we're
You gotta switch it up.
going dark.
Oh no. Are you going dark with the galactic?
No.
Maybe we should bring in the vellum. Get some different things going, and I feel like a lot of what you're doing now would be good on the vellum.
Yeah, it probably would, but I don't know if I've even opened this up. I haven't. I'll hand this off to Mariah. Okay, Mariah, I think I've got
brand
some of
new.
that. Yeah. And we'll mix in a little bit of this.
Now, is this, what are you saying to me? Is this the red? Or you want me to open this?
I want you to open it, please.
Okay. I thought you were saying you had a...
No.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll just go with this.
That was interesting. That was like a little...
Oh, this isn't just turning out to be not such a wonderful print day. I'm not feeling it. Well, part of it is I should have been printing on this plate for 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, we're about that now.
And get it moistened up. Alright, I'm just going to pull that and see if I can get some stuff off there.
God, this kind of looks like iodine.
Yeah. Okay, this is the gold sheet from earlier.
See, now it's probably going to be wonderful. Kitty. You are being very aggressive today. I'm not playing that.
Okay, now we're getting some cool looking stuff.
And now, look at your leaves that are kind of left on the plate.
Yes, that's
the stuff.
That's the stuff, and that's why
Here, now you need this.
I
that
need-
you asked for, I believe.
yes. It's the quinacridone nickel azo gold.
All right, now the thing is, you looked it up. Do you remember?
Hmm?
Do you remember? Because
Remember what?
the research on why they call it that.
Oh, it just has to do with it's the particles in the paint.
The pigment. In
Yes.
The paint.
It's and it's a particular, and I don't know why.
Mineral.
And I
Is that
really, I tell you what, you know, if you're talking about, and I don't know any place else, if I could send you any place else to get
These types of colors.
these types of colors, I would, because I have no allegiance to, the cat just jumped up on the table.
He's being very bad.
Kitty, it'd be terrible if we have to smack you in the middle of a video. You can tell he's been beat a lot.
Why don't you just lay down? There you go. Here, I'll put the thing in. Filled you a little nesty. Get in there.
Okay. Look how cool that looks.
Yeah, now we're talking.
But back to the golden.
Ooh, that is wonderful.
I don't know where you can get this stuff in any other form.
So, hey, if you... Oh, Robin, good morning!
Hi,
Yes,
Robin.
so, Robin.
We're struggling.
Yeah, we needed you in the chat. We really did. I'm so happy you're here. Hooray. So, you missed the kind of beginning where we were talking, well, me just yammering on about the stencil.
Stencils.
This thing took me, I kid you not, a couple of hours to get it all worked out, placed, cleaned up, and cut. Because it also took quite some time for the Cricut to cut it. Because this is a lot of cuts and they're kind of jaggedy. So those always take longer. Yeah, we're very excited about the leaf stencil because it matches our papers. And so we're still, Piece Plate has just gotten to, I think, a good...
Yeah, and I'm just going to whip a little bit of this stuff on. I don't know. You know, I do not know. I just kind of...
There we go. Alright, show... Oh, was there no show paper?
I don't have time for that nonsense, Mariah.
Well...
What we should... And it's printed too.
What's sitting out for the back? Alright, so the next time we do one of these...
We will print. Ooh.
We will do a double, and then that way, yes, we could leave one
I
out
don't
for the
have any.
second.
I don't have any retardant in my.
That's okay.
Yeah, there's nothing to write home about for sure. But it does add another layer, and it adds a layer of the shimmer. And you know, if you're doing a journal where you really you don't want it to be really wowie, powsy, wowsy.
It's worth the time it takes to design a really good stencil. It's true that. It's just that I was running into some serious technical difficulties and a lot of interruptions that I couldn't quite, you know, get my brain around. So, ever to be known as the very expensive stencil.
Yeah. Alright, you can see some of those leaves on there, and I'm hoping I've got this dark enough that I can...
There you go.
Okay, here's the paper.
Oh, good job.
Hope you got a quick look there. We don't have time to dilly-dally.
There will be no
Now,
dilly-dallying.
this is the other thing that I wish that... And they do have... I don't... In some of the newer bottles, the little ketchup bottle thing... The nose on this, I swear to God, every time I touch it, I go like that. And I'm always mucking up the back of my prints. Tape this thing down.
You didn't tape it down?
Well,
Rookie move.
you wouldn't let me because we didn't know where we were going to have the camera.
Yeah. Well, you want some tape? Ooh. It'll be interesting when it dries. Oh, now you're going to crack a crinkle in it. But
No, it's no worries. You can see it. There's just a lot going on there. A lot going on there. Do we have any? No, I pretty much pulled
Here,
it
you
up.
want some tape?
We've got some stuff. I've got tape.
we're taping the plate down, people. Oh, the software I was using. Well, so I brought it into Photoshop, but the problem was my original clipping of the leaf, I didn't spend a quality amount of time cleaning up because I wasn't gonna, you know, I was only using it for digital paper, so it was perfectly fine for that. So I was being lazy, and in that laziness, it then created a whole issue of things that I should have known better. And like I said, there was just a lot of stopping and starting, and so I just didn't have the focus that I needed to just complete the job properly. She loves the gold paper, and when we start cutting it up, it'll be wonderful. I think so too, Robin. I really do. I think P's being a little hard on herself because we did have some expectations for some of this, and
Yeah, they're certainly not being met. Okay, this is a print earlier,
from our last session.
which I just went ahead and kept on printing because I used up all of the ink that was on my thing over here. Paint. I just, you know, I hate wasting stuff, and I'm very, and especially this
The golden.
golden. I mean, you know, like 20 cents a squirt or something. I don't know exactly. And somebody said pull from the back, but I don't know. I just. Okay, that was a really boring print, and look at that. I think that's quite lovely.
So, Robin, to speak to the illustrator thing, yes, but see, what happens is, like, that leaf started out as a stamp, and so P stamps it. And then and this was before we really started doing what we do. And so I didn't even have that great of a stamp, and the stamp no longer exists as it is, or as it was, I guess. So
It's
an image, and therefore needed to come into Photoshop first to really be cleaned up. Then I could create the cleaner image, which then I could do. And I'm speaking basically directly to Robin because she knows what I'm talking about, and I know a lot of people are like, ugh, this is all this computer stuff that, you know, P's like, I don't care how it gets done, just get
Do
it
it.
done.
This is what I want.
So yes, then I brought the lines in, I can vectorize it, all of that goodness. But, you know, sometimes it's, I go the lazy route, especially with the app that comes with the cutting machine. But then, yes, finally I got it to a really good clean image. It's just, then I had to place each and every one of those leaves as well. So that took some time. And on my first, I did it about 3 different times. So it was a lot of stuff. Anyway, that was a lot of information again about the
But
students.
now, what's really wonderful is this is, you know, in the memory banks.
Yeah, it's in the database now.
It's in the memory banks of the computer, you know. Unlike humans, we can pull it out you don't have to find it. Well, actually, I would have to find it if
I did name it.
See, Mariah names her stuff.
Pull it towards you. Ooh. See, there we go. That's what we've been wanting.
That is quite lovely. I'm very...
And it even has that, what you liked about, like, the writing one.
Ah, yes, it pulls
Those
to the
little edges.
outside of the edges there.
It gives you that extra depth.
And
Because
we're not going to be able to pull a ghost print with that, but there's nothing there. I like that. I think we're getting some good things to go with the leaf stuff that we've got going on. All right, I've got this one here, and it is so busy that I'm
okay,
just...
well, you got to pull it into the shot.
Whoa.
There you go.
All right, so what I'm thinking here, I want, as wherever it hits with the gold, it's going to be darker. Right?
Yeah, and do a little bit of how I show things in the camera, because you can see in this, there's multiple layers already. And this is just a printed. This is in our Batik-Sepia printable set of papers.
Right. Okay. So my thought process here is I know I need some of the dark. And I really do, I want some of that red also. Red. And then I'm thinking this nickel yellow. I don't know what the difference between these two. I'm just looking at the bottle. Come on, where are you there? Okay, so this has more red in it. This has more yellow. I think I'm going to stay with this. And this is the fluid acrylic, so you really, you know, that may seem like a lot to you people that are out there, but also we're in Texas and it's dry.
Well, it certainly is in the house. It isn't always outside. I don't know what the deal is.
I'm gonna fix those just a little bit. Now I've already got plan B for this, just in case this is not really dark enough to make a difference on this thing.
I think it will be.
We can always go with the dark brown and do just pull up. Oh, well, I kind of like that.
I like it.
Certainly brings in that
Now, what would be cool is if we could bring that
rust.
back around and do a little flippy floppy. If you can go the opposite direction, or you know, bring them in a different direction with something else.
Yeah,
I think that will be cool.
I think you're probably right.
Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes you are.
Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it happens.
And right now we have it on video.
Okay, I hope I left that long enough that it's drying, but I think with the
Are you better now that you're taped down? It seems that you're.
yes, I am. I just maybe should have just pulled a plain print. Well, I think it's kind of cool, and if you were using this as pages in a journal,
Yeah.
I mean, you've got this nice edge here, but yet you've got this, it's like paper inside of paper. I don't know. I don't hate it. I mean, I don't really think I love it quite yet, but I don't hate it. All right, now I'm going to go with the really dark brown. Van Dyke. And we're going to get some dark flowers on here. Flowers, leaves, sorry.
Oh, that looks a little scary. I'm a little scared about that.
Sometimes I wished I had a 12 by 12 jelly plate.
The jelly plate she has is never good enough. They just keep arriving at the house.
And as soon as I see a 40% coupon off again from the, I'm not giving them any.
No.
Okay, now see, look.
I like that. Kind of looks a little bit, it's a bit more whimsical for some reason.
Well, I don't know why those, I guess I needed to push harder.
You need to push harder.
I need to push.
We're having shoulder issues this morning.
Oh, I mean, seriously, it is just like, it's a sad thing. Okay, now I'm just going to chit-chat with you for a minute there and let that dry because I have a definite
What are you going to chit-chat about? Tell us some things, Gigi. What's your game plan?
Okay, so while that's drying, we'll talk about these other papers that I've got going on here and hopefully not drop them down on the
Plate.
Okay, so the thing that started.
Hey, by the way, this is sneak peek, first view. Well, not really. I mean, it is out on Etsy. You can buy these papers now, but this is like.
It's maiden voyage.
Yes. We have not made anything with these.
We haven't cracked the champagne flute across it yet. But
across the bow.
Across the bow. But this sort of is it. We haven't done anything with it.
This is pleasantly plush purples.
And probably what I'm going to do with Pleasantly Plush is I'm going to get my other gel plate here, which is a whole lot cleaner than this one, because now I think I've pretty much mucked this one up. I don't know.
But hey, look at there. You gotta go back to the cards. So we included the cards.
Yeah, these are my artist trading cards as tags, or I don't know, whatever you want to do with them. Now, Mariah did alter the color somewhat on those.
I did. I put more. I took a bit of the brighter blue out and put more purple in, so it went a little bit better with the set. I can make those executive decisions as the paper designer.
Okay, I think I'm going to pull this with
your favorite.
My favorite. You can see this. See. I've got my tie-dye shirt on today, so I can go ahead and wipe mine.
We don't really own anything anymore that doesn't.
Oh, damn it.
Darn it.
F.
Did you wait too long?
No, I didn't wait long enough.
Oh.
And then I should have, because it just pulled off a big section of my stuff there.
Sugar, sugar.
Sugar, sugar.
I do have us marked down as not for children, so just in case.
Just in case I, cut my finger off on the thing, because I guarantee you will hear some sailor language.
Expletives. Is that it? Expletive. I always have a hard time saying that. Expletive. Ooh. I kind of like it that it even pulled up little chunky bits.
Yes, and you can see the place there where the brayer pulled off a big chunk of my...
I don't mind that.
I think it makes it just a little bit more interesting. And you're right, I even love the little... But that's what it
looks fantastic in the camera.
Does it?
It does. This is kind of one of those things where we're like, sometimes when we photograph stuff, we're like, wow, we like the photograph better than because the lighting really will bring certain things out. Now, sometimes we photograph something that we think is wonderful and it looks terrible.
Poopy. Poopy.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't really know what to do with this sheet. I mean, as far as printing on top of it. What if I just, since my plate's already messed up anyway, I'm just thinking about going with some more of that, what is this called?
You're going to glaze it.
Unbleached titanium.
No, stop doing that.
What do you want me to do?
I think you need to glaze it. And I'm sure Robin's definitely on team glazing.
Okay, Robin, come on, weigh in here.
Are you all about glazing that paper? I think it needs a little glaze.
I want to put this down first.
I think it's a terrible idea. I saw what it did to that other one, and I am not happy about it. But We'll wait until some people chime in here, maybe. Robin might just be listening and crafting.
And she might have her hands full and be pulling prints and she can't stop and
Plus,
type.
we have a minute delay.
Oh, is that it?
Well, yeah.
A minute? That's a long
I
time.
think it's a minute. Well, in case, you know, if you really went on like a tantrum or something, I could shut it down before it went live.
There you go.
Yes, it's an option.
Yeah. There's no editing on this, though.
Well, there is afterwards.
Oh, I think we're just gonna. I'm gonna go with my.
Well, folks, you saw here that
Yeah, Mariah was all.
I was against this. Hey, here's the beauty of it. We can print more of those.
Yeah. All right, that's quite a large blob there, but again,
You better thin that out.
we're going to add a bit.
So Robin did go. She goes, it's not the last piece of paper in the world. Make 2 or 5. True that, Robin. True that.
Okay. Get that well integrated before I start, you know, going. It doesn't matter every time, I swear. All right, so I'm trying to get this relatively smooth here. And remember,
Why
it
don't you put
hasn't-
something else with it?
I just did. I put gold with it.
Well, I know, but like blop some other, just make it, I don't know. This might be okay. I thought you were gonna like kind of do it the opposite way. Thank God.
Well, you know, it was kind of a toss-up because this is not a really...
Yes, Robin, we're always game for some teasing. Well, I don't know. Sometimes Gigi gets a little hurt. She gets mad at me because I poke at her. I like that.
Okay, well, you know...
It broke up some of those leaves. I think that is
broke up some of the big brown leaves, which we agreed were a little out of scale and whatnot. But now, let's do this. And this is one of the things that I don't know if it's recommended.
But, you know, this is how we do things sometimes. I think didn't I read somewhere or something, but there's really not any, you know, necessarily wrong way. You may not get great results. But
No, I wish
nobody
I
said it
really,
was wrong.
really had a dark something to put that down on.
Are you sure you want to dark something?
Yes, I want a dark something.
Oh, goodness. That was one of the test sheets for Pleasantly Plush Purple. And then P did some pencil work and said, well, why don't we just use this? And I said, well, I can't use that because it wasn't at the right size.
All right, you can see if that had been much darker.
I don't know. I think it's interesting.
No, I think it's
You
kind of
pulled up some of your gook on the end.
pukey. I don't like it. It'll require a whole lot more.
Thanks.
Whatever.
I like how, yeah, you're right. So see on the end where the darker flowers are,
Yes,
You
you
get-
get the contrast that
you
I
get some
wanted.
good stuff.
I needed another one of those
Yeah, that one.
brown, that dark brown that we printed off
Yeah, the very expensive.
inadvertently on your.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's puke.
She likes it. Robin likes it.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to our. Okay, we haven't done any.
Let's do some envelopes.
Okay, well, we can do envelopes. Yeah.
So do you care if I know you had to sort of sort it out, but I don't.
I
think
don't
that
really.
matters
It
at this
doesn't
point.
matter at this point at all.
Because we did that for the chit chat the other day to show one way of doing it, and now we're gonna actually print on them to see if we can get some cool results, and if they don't all bubble up and get weird.
And get weird.
Let's get weird.
I'm going to put a little bit of the retardant just because we seem to be drying out really, really quickly here. Not getting.
I'm also
good
guessing
ghost print.
that the more pearlescent ones are probably. Well, I don't know. I was gonna make a prediction there, but
Are probably more what?
well, because they have a different finish to them because of the pearlization.
Well, I'm going to, my thought here is to, and I mixed a little retardant in with this so that we can contemplate our navel while we're making decisions.
Where does that even come from? Like, you've always said that, like, I can remember.
I don't
Always.
know. I don't know.
Where'd you pick
You're
that up?
covering up my brayer.
Sorry. Crappy doodle.
I'm going to get some of this down. And then come in with some of this red stuff because I think that this would be really bloody marvelous on either the white or the I mean, it's obviously I'm not going to do that on orange. Okay.
Well, here, do you want me to? I'll sort these out into the colors then.
Okay. Give me here. Just yeah. That's
Oh,
what I
pearl.
need. Pearl. Okay.
Here, why don't you go?
This is an old brayer I had from.
And you can put that on one of the ends there. See what that does. Very curious about that one.
Oh wow! Check that out.
Yeah, see, that's
Now
kind of what I was hoping for.
here's the problem. Can you see where the stencil?
I don't think that that's a problem.
Okay, Mariah doesn't think it's a problem. Hey, I don't think it's a problem either. Check that out.
Ooh, loving that. That is what I had expected. I'm glad we waited, because if we would have started out with these, I think it would have been
Well, my
a real poop show.
plate was kind of.
I have more of these. I think we should do more of these. Don't you?
I do. It's fun. Okay, so there we got it.
Ooh, I'm loving
That looks really intentional and everything. This is an old brayer I had back in the day when I was doing, I don't know what, another kind of printing where you carve out the stuff. What do you call that? I don't know.
Lithograph? No.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Because I'm following some of them on Instagram. They make some really great things. There's these one people in Mexico that, I mean, their stuff is just awesome. I love it. I'm extremely pleased with our lighting today.
Anyway, this little, it's a hard rubber brayer rather than a squishy one. And sometimes it works really, really well when you want to get a really even press on something. So I have a tendency not to do that.
You did the flap.
Hey, it's what I have room for.
Ooh.
Kind of an ombre effect there.
Mm-hmm. That I love.
Pretty cool.
That looks pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Hey, and the flap gives you a nice little pull pull.
Yeah, it does.
It's a pull tab.
Should have that on all of my paper. Okay, can you see that? You can see those leaves. I think I kind of actually like it going through the stencil. Okay, now I think that one's done. But
Okay.
These right here, I want to do some
Oh yeah, and this one's fan.
more too.
This is that what you're talking about going through?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like this too, and it's certainly cool, but
It is.
this is way cooler.
And I don't.
It's more dramatic.
It is more dramatic. Okay, now let's go with. Okay, what other colors do we have here? We've got pink. Oh, let's do that.
The pink will be beautiful.
All right, I've got this, and this is probably the closest you'll ever see me getting to that bubble gummy stuff. This is quinacridone magenta.
I'm very pleased with that. I think you should do some other things on top of it, though.
Okay, well, we can do that. So we're gonna make this a little bit.
I'm gonna pull this stack and make sure things aren't sticking to one another. I mean, as dry as it is, I don't see it doing that.
Oh, we might try. I like pink and green.
I love pink and green.
All right, now I did not pull what I probably could have from that last. Okay, see what happened there? That's the whole big blob of gold, but oh well, what the heck. Now these are really big envelopes. We're not going to get.
That is cool. That is kind of interesting. Here, you need to put some of that on this.
No, well, I can do that.
Maybe.
Just let me pick up some.
All right.
You really have to. It's hard to keep these in place, and when you brayer on them. Okay, well, I think that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure that I absolutely love it, but. I don't know that we can get a. I mean, I do have a little retardant in that gold, which I put down here, so maybe it's going to be moist enough to pull this up. It just hasn't been. Crazy. Plus, I have the window open here. Because we're upstairs.
Ooh.
And, oh,
I like that better than I like this.
I do too. But I think if we reprint on this in another
flat.
Yeah, color. Oh, and we've got some good stuff going on here, so we're going to pull some. But let me just have that, and I'll just go ahead and put that back down on the. I don't want to grab that. Okay, now you can see that I didn't grab up any big patch when I brayered there. And the reason is because I do have some of that.
Ooh, that's some good stuff. So these will be fun, like if we're sending Happy Mail.
Yeah, I think so.
Send these along. I like that a lot with those colors.
Okay, now remember, this is the one that had the leaves printed on it. And then pulls off.
I didn't think I was going to like that. I was going to kind of gripe about it. And I am loving, I am so happy that this isn't doing any bubbly stuff. And I think you're right, because there just isn't enough moisture in it, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, even glue with vellum, they are not friends.
No.
Vellum's a tricky thing. And even not all vellum is the same. So depending on even like the color or like this one, like I said, so this one has like a pearl. I knew it was going to react differently than say just.
And look at the little ghost.
The halo-y kind of, yeah.
Yeah. That's nifty.
Ooh.
I love that.
Here, I think you can do a little more over that. Or hit some of those lines.
No, I don't know how much is
Left or
still, well, how much, there's some stuff there, I just think it's too dry to
pull it right now, especially
pull
with
it.
the vellum.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, we've got some there. That's, yeah.
I don't like that.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do another
Man, that looks like some rusty,
metal.
or even when copper is starting to oxidize. All right.
Oxidize, yes.
Well, and these will be cool to build pockets, like just that. A lot of times that's what I use envelopes for, especially these square ones, because mailing them requires extra postage. So they're not exactly ideal to ship things in, but they are fantastic to like do hand-delivered invitations, things of that nature. And we love using them in the journals to create bands and pockets and such with. As long as you can figure out a nice way to stick them down. And we've got some tips and tricks on different ways to do that too. Without showing. Because if you glue, like you can even see the glue in the envelope making process. Ooh. Man, I am loving this. Hey, this was the...
I don't know why we didn't do this before.
Well. Ooh. Look at that. That is exciting.
I'm pretty jazzed about it. This sage green stuff is the bomb.
you want more of these?
I'm loving that.
And
I mean, I'm just really.
So the reason we got these is there's a place that I buy envelopes from, and they have clearance, like they're discontinued. So they're quite reasonable. And like I said, they're not usually something I'm going to use to send or, have any special requests for as far as creating an invitation. So getting these on clearance is fantastic. And obviously, these are a real winner.
Okay, here's the magenta.
Oh, here, look at this together. Wow. That looks awesome.
Okay, let's
What do you need?
see if we can get because I do have a little bit of retardant in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens here. Somebody out what they're saying. Just now figure out to do that. It's okay. I mean, like I said, I taught junior high for a lot of years, and they're brutally honest. Yeah, I don't know. It's
You're
just
drying up.
drying up. That's all right. I think I will have enough pressure on that plate that there's some stuff there. I just have to pick the right thing to pick it up with.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's it, but...
I don't either, but it's dark.
You want another big pink one?
Yes, please. I think that would be lovely. Especially since we're going a little bit dark. This is not like majorly dark. I didn't grab the Van Dyke.
Yes, those are an 8-inch square envelope. You need a better thing for your sticks.
I do.
I like that new kind of rosy red.
It's quinacrid on magenta.
Here, look at how good these look together. Oh, that looks wonderful. See, that's Mom's happy place of pink. It's been dirtied up a bit. It's running. It's a pig in the mud.
Okay. All right. I'm loving this stuff.
Did you see that together?
They're wonderful. I'm fixing to print over the top of them.
Oh, is that why you took them away?
That's why I took them away. I'm getting low on my gold here anyway, so I just added some of the quinacridone pink to make it a rosy.
Look at this. So I don't even, because you didn't do what I do.
Oh.
And you can see look at the leaves in there.
Oh, damn, you can. Ah.
Did you?
Oh, they're like mucho subtle. Yeah.
It's very holographic.
Yeah, okay, I'm putting some retarder in here because I'm tired of not being able to pull up what I need here.
Okay.
So they're going to be a little ushy-gushy. Don't put them on top of each other is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I think that needs some dark brown on top of it.
Yes, agreed. That's why I put it back in the stack there.
Now, the other thing that I can add to the mix here that is this copper I have. And I bought this because it was on sale, this Arteza. And this is Pearl Copper Gold. Okay, I mean, you just...
It's all the metallics.
all of the metallic. And I'm thinking it's going to work really well with this pink because it kind of has a tendency towards pink anyway. And I don't feel bad about, using lots of paint here in this thing because I'm going to cover... I mean, it's not going to be scraped off my palette here. Okay. Now I think it's getting a little bit stiff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of this stuff, which is matte. Don't really love the matte right now. I mean, most of them I do. But I like the fluid consistency of this. Oh, it's just matte medium. It's okay. It's not. But see, yeah, it's not quite so stiff. And as I've been yakking and carrying on here, and this board is drying out, which is really just okay. Oh, look at that, Mariah. Look at that.
Ooh.
Okay, now I think that's going to be lovely over the top of that. I've got some retardant in here, so I'm hoping this is also going to print nicely over these kind of tealy.
What is that teal? It's kind of like a slate green. It's not really green. It's not really blue. It's sort of over there near seafoam, but darker.
Well, there's still something on there. I don't know how much
It's going to come with it.
Is going to.
Did you show me the thing where somebody was cleaning their plate with like tape, and then they kept the tape?
I saw.
So like not printing on top of the tape, which our good friend Carrie. I say good friend. I mean, I think she's a good friend. Met her on the internet. She did tape the other day on the gel print, but I saw somebody talking about picking up and cleaning your plate with the tape, but then keeping it and then gluing it down or doing whatever. That wasn't while we was out.
I wasn't. That's not really doing anything for me, and I've got lots of.
I didn't ooh and ah about
paint out there on the edge.
Boy, we have not used any other stencil today.
I mean,
all
it's,
about the leaves.
I just think it's, and I don't know that there's enough. Oh hell, we'll print the back. This vellum is very, very stiff.
Yeah, it doesn't push down
Doesn't
in like
squish in.
paper.
Well, again, that's not brilliant, but
Not horrible. I think your smaller ones tend to do a little better because you can get.
yeah. I need a bigger workspace.
Always. I love how you have them configured on. Bad brayer.
Add brayer.
Ooh. Are you pulling up some of that stuff?
Pulling up some stuff.
Ooh. Some leafy stuff even on that one. That one's
Yeah,
good.
see, there's, I knew there was some there. It's just that sometimes on the, it's hard to see it.
I think that's why they call it the glazing.
Good point, Ron. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I just absolutely, I mean, I love the mucky muck it picked up there. Even some of the original, look, I mean, look at
Yeah.
when you twist that in the wind. Can you see it?
Oh, Robin says there are a ton of packing tape videos. All right.
I just have a love-hate relationship with tape. It's not my friend.
Especially the clear stuff.
Oh my lord. Yes. If it ever gets lost on there.
She brings it to me.
It makes a horrible noise too. And me and the baby, we neither one of us like it.
Don't like it.
Don't like it. Yeah, I did do some alcohol ink tape. Remember when we did that?
Yes. Who did we watch that video from?
I don't know.
Nick the Booksmith.
Maybe so.
It was.
The nice thing about this translucent paper is you can kind of, see where the
Oh, yeah.
pattern is. So you really know
Where to push it in.
where to push it in.
Oh. There you go.
That's some good stuff.
That was some great stuff. Oh, are you sure about that?
No,
All right.
it's like Robin said.
Because that was a really good one.
It's going to be even better. You just have to be able to be
Have faith.
willing to give up what you have for what could be.
A bird in the hand is...
Burn.
I'll burn that
Burn
bridge.
that bridge when I get there. It's a little family joke.
Oh, wow. All right, well, that was a good call, I think. That
Look
was
at that.
beautiful. That's almost as good as your one the other day.
It is. I'll have to post that. All of those.
Yeah, your gel print
My
people will
fan
love it.
fan base will love it. Okay, we're gonna do something completely different here, just because I'm kind of bored with that.
Yeah, I am too.
Time to move on. Is this? Yeah. Okay. Gotta make sure I got the right brayer here. I'm just
Is that before or after?
Okay, I'm feeling like I'm kind of getting in that zone, and my plate is getting to where it's responsive.
We're an hour and a half in. This is really when you should join us.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I'm not being
because it doesn't
facetious. I'm being very honest about when you let your gel plate sit around for, you know.
I like this one the way it is.
3 or 4.
You can do stuff with those if you want.
Okay, well, I just brared off on this one. I thought it looked kind of nice.
Oh.
At least it gives you a...
Well, there you go. Yeah, I think so. And I'm going to bring this one back in the mix because you're doing good things that I think would look... That looks really cool.
I love it. It's in my area of... Oh, yeah, we definitely need to do some more to that. That's just a sad little... I don't know if pink is what I need for that, though. Because it's already got kind of
It's pinky. A little bit pinkish, yes.
Pinkish. We'll get some of this going here. Because I think that this is going to... hopefully pick up where the white...
Robin wants to know why you're reprinting everything in the middle of the page.
I don't know. I kind of like it if you're going to do a journal. I think it kind of gives you a little border. That was my thought. You know, if you folded this in half, it'd look kind of cool around the edge to have that. And like I said, I need a bigger gel plate. Yeah, that's much better.
I think what...
Horrible.
You know, you can kind of patchwork it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'll try some of that. I'll try the patchworking thing here.
That looks great, though. I mean, that really toned back that white business a bit, and
well, and it picked
that
up.
Creamy.
Yeah.
I love, yeah. But yeah, if you came back in and here, I'll set this over here, and maybe even patchworked over here. That would be really nice.
Well, I really like this around the edge.
Okay, you're sending this one.
Yeah, I'm sending you one.
Here, look.
But now on this one, I may not like it on the edge.
That needs.
Yeah, it does. Isn't this is kind of a sad looking?
Yeah, I was not happy about that one.
But I don't really know what to do with it right now, so I'm just going to put that over there.
Okay.
And I know what to do with this because I'm going to some more of this rosy stuff out here. With a little of
She says she gets it now. Our train of thought is always how to turn it into a journal.
Yeah, that's kind of where I... Oh, look at this. That's a wonderful color.
Kind of peachy.
And I'm hoping it's got enough...
There you go.
Retardant. Where's my stencil? Now, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But like Robin said, you could print out 2, 3, 5. Wah, wah.
Yeah, no kidding. Didn't like that. Put the same one back down. I don't know if that's something you should do or not. I have no idea. Never done it before. But it was really poopy anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't. That improved it.
Certainly did.
I like it. Hey, you've got some stuff left back on there. That's gonna be pretty cool.
Oh,
I think.
Well, look at that. But see that edge around the edge? I think it's like a little frame. Almost. I don't know. Okay, now what?
Alright, but this thing's sad too.
That is sad. Okay, well, I know what to do with that.
I'm bringing back the sad ones.
We're gonna hit them with
So now I think we should talk about that. At some point, we want to print some of these on the laser, certainly the black and white ones, and then use those for like photo transfer style to see what we can get.
Okay, now I'm not.
That might be next week.
I don't want to do this one because I think it's not going to work. I'm just going to
Yeah.
pull this up with a clean sheet
Okay.
and
See what you get from there.
yeah.
It is something to think about, like with the printed papers, that you kind of have to consider them already having layers and what's gonna come through. Yeah, that would have been terrible on there, but it's fantastic there. Look at that.
I do. I love it. No, that was really. Oh well, I didn't pull up anything. I think
You'd already gotten what
I think
was gonna
we've
come
got
up.
most of the stuff that's gonna come up.
But yeah, look at that. See, sometimes people just need my...
Yeah, that twisty stuff that you do.
I did it slowly.
Good job, Mama.
Look at that in the... It's fantastic.
Okay, I think with this, because it does have that lovely, I mean, we've got some good stuff down here. I just don't, I don't know what color to put on top of this. Can we get some
Feedback?
feedback? I'm not, I don't know what to do with this right now, so I'm going to put this aside. You can weigh in on what I should do as far as color is concerned. And I think what I'm going to do with this is do some more of this pinky brown stuff.
Yes. Because that looked really cool on that other
I
one.
think it will, yeah. Pinky brown stuff. Did I use the dark brown or the light brown?
I think I don't know. I'd say dark, because that was pretty dark. But go easy with that business. Why are you piling it all in the middle?
Well, because that's where I mix it. Boy, that's some mucky stuff.
Or do you need some new brayer off envelopes?
I need some new brayer off envelopes, and this is really a good color. That baby
There.
down there. Whoa. Right.
Alright.
I flipped that around, hopefully, because the more interesting part is going to go in the area where there wasn't like a lot of. I think that's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't accomplish that again like that in another 100 years.
Here, I'll take it.
All right, I think that's yeah.
Oh yeah, because if you did anything else, you just lose the flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
Go like, well, why did you do that for?
Okay, basically I think I'm going to do sort of similar. I'm going to make it That's kind of seemed to, have a bearing on, the placement of the pink in that last thing.
Yeah. Ooh. I like the way that's kind of looking.
I do too. Now, see, if I gotten that centered more, it would have been much more interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Well, and see, it's really interesting because, see, it works really well with the large print or the pattern.
Exactly. And this glazing stuff, I mean, this is I love this, and I think that that's one of the reasons that I like the
Transparent.
all of the transparent stuff.
Well, especially with this, with the already printed papers. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
And again, you know, I like using a little bit of that retardant in there, because what happens is you have more time to do some stuff that I'm doing right here, because otherwise you wouldn't. This, you know, you'd have some stuff drying up here, and you're going, oh my God, that's just not working out for me at all. And I'm trying to distribute this somewhat around here and there and everywhere, because I know, because it's got both the retardant and the gel medium mixed in there, that it's going to do a bit of a resist. That's why we've been getting all these lovely little...
God, that pink, or whatever, what is it? Say it again.
Quinacridone.
Quack, quack, quack.
Quinacridone.
I don't know about that, but hey, it couldn't make it any...
Yeah,
this thing...
We can't mess it up because it's already boring.
Well,
okay, that's
some stuff.
interesting.
Now, I don't know how much of the original pattern's showing through in any of that, and I think maybe once it dries we'll know a bit more. But the leafy pattern is definitely showing up in there.
And then you've got the little tiny leaves around the edge, kind of as a border.
Now this thing's got some paint on it.
Yeah, you can tell how many times I pull prints, how much they weigh. Okay, now look at that. All right, now that's starting to get some stuff going on there. I don't.
You can even see it. Look through the original pattern from the printed on the inkjet in those pink areas, which is very interesting. I really like this rosy. It's almost like rose gold.
Well, you realize it's.
You'd never be able to mix that again.
I don't. I think I could probably come close, because it's actually 3 different.
Right. And much like how you cook, you don't know if it was 1 or 2 squirts, or it was more like a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
You can get it in the ballpark.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Okay, and I still have some, you know, stuff down here on the bottom, which I think is going to be lovely.
Are you doing the...
I'm doing that one.
Oh. Still not going back to the really dark one.
Not yet. Because I'm really enjoying
The success of this.
what's going on here. I mean, this is some wonderful stuff. If you get me down an envelope here, I can be...
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was kind of falling down on my job, eh?
Hey. Okay, we can see this. And I think a lot of times when you are printing and you're starting out printing and you don't know what's happening or what's going on, my gosh, look at that one little spot out there. Can you see it? Can you see it? It's like the sun is shining through in that one spot. Oh God, I love that. I think that's absolutely
Sorry, I'm
brilliant and
working on space over
stunning. And I really wished I had, I have this ordered in
blue.
cerulean.
Yes.
So, very happy and anxious to get that.
Yeah, this could maybe do with some of your pinkies and
Oh yeah, definitely.
whatnot.
Definitely. Okay, now where's my little... Oh my gosh,
Here, I think you should write
I left that open.
Goodness.
Okay, I ordered a little one of these because I was like, you know, that pink, I don't usually like pink so much.
I love pink.
Mariah loves pink.
I do. Makes me happy.
Makes her happy. And you know, most of the time, I'm happy that she's happy. Okay, here we go with this. Oh, I hope I offset the right end. Got it down here, pushing it down. Oh well. Okay, Mariah, you need to be over here oohing and
wow.
awing.
Wow. Yeah, that's some. I always knew that this was like, it's not an awesome, like, just regular printed paper. It requires more things. But that's one of the reasons that we create these printed papers is for such things. Is they do need more things.
And
They're a suggestion, a starting point. And you can either do, now we've proven that you can gel print them, monoprint them. We love doing all sorts of things with them. I usually collage and then do all kinds of, either I use markers on them, colored pencil, I spray them. So even our printed papers that I use are never very rarely in their original form. Now that's not true. Sometimes I do a nice background and leave a bit peeking through. But it's still a part of a larger thing. I like your stick work, Gigi.
like my stick work?
Yeah, I do.
Thank you. Okay, me too. Now I'm kind of eyeing this purple print over here.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of got that thing going on in the middle that I don't know that I'm going to absolutely
or here,
love
or do you
that.
want to put this down?
Oh, I think that's what I want to do.
Because that's going to be cool if it shows through the way that I think it might. Rare. Ooh, I like that. Okay, I'll switch out there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. I think you should just brayer onto that.
I think that's, I like it.
It needs something else in that area.
I think it's quite nice. It's subtle.
Yeah.
Somebody might want to write a,
Well, that's true. It would be great journaling space.
I'm
You're ixnaying that? And we do have all these other colors. We have stuck with the pink. No, bringing in a whole new. Although you should do gold, just to see.
well, that's interesting, but I need more dark out here.
See, because you can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
those coming through.
Let's see what happens on this one. See what we pick up.
Oh man, we're 9 minutes away from our 2-hour mark. I don't know if we want to continue going or.
Do we still have people? Have we lost our...
Robin's still here. And there's people. Not everybody
chatting?
wants to get in the chat, and that's fine.
Okay, now...
I would say that, you know, if you did like what you're seeing and you're still here and all of that, please click the like button.
I think that saved that. Because that was really... You can see this and cut that off, but look at that. You've got some lovely, lovely layers there. I'm liking that one.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I don't know. I'm still... Once it dries up, maybe. Because you can still see... And I don't know if it's coming through in the camera or not, but... Some of the original flower print stuff, and then you do get the leaves coming through.
Yeah.
And yeah, and even some of the fabric pattern stuff is coming through there.
Okay, we don't have much of this left anyway, so now I'm going to make the executive decision to totally alter this color. We no longer have pink, Mariah.
Okay.
And this stuff, I don't, it is the matte. And sometimes I like the gloss, but I like the matte because it's a little squishier. And I'm putting in some gloss. And I am going to give this a squirt of, because I've been having pretty good luck with the plate stain moist enough that we can pull
Yeah, and Robin,
multiple prints.
Robin says this is a good example of how you can push the papers into whatever color direction you choose. So that was what, and P even knew that, and she's like, I need the black and white papers because I think that's going to be a really dramatic example of how to do this.
Yes, that was my intention. I kind of messed up on that one, but oh my gosh, this is just like a really yummy.
Because we've never, I don't think, well, you did that one little kind of run. We've done a little test run.
Yeah.
But this was our real go at it with the printed papers to see how well they perform. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. It's
taupe. One word you're looking for there, taupe. Oh. But now I am going to go ahead and bring in some of this magenta.
Now, what do you need? What are you printing on?
I don't know. Probably maybe a piece of paper. I don't know.
Okay. Now you do have the one purple paper back here left with the leaves from the set. Well, that actually is a version 1. That is not the version that is in the set. It's very similar, but I did alter it a bit more. Ooh, I like the envelope looks really cool, especially in the monitor here. But oh wow! Here, hold it up into the. That looks pretty cool.
Yes, it is. It's certainly it has a.
Well, what's interesting here is that you can really see, again, because we start out like with some fabric swatches, and you can see that fabric, and then I have an overlay of that same pattern. But it's almost coming through more so, and the leaves just look fabulous.
The other thing is these ones that came out that we don't necessarily love in their present form, we can take that same stencil and come back with the stencil and a contrasting color and
Yeah, once it's
stencil,
dry.
yeah, stencil over it again. That's promising to look like something very interesting there. Fire off on that. What else we got going here, Mariah? You got anything else for me?
I think we've printed sort of everything that.
We've got everything printed that we wanted printed. There isn't anything over there that needs reprinting. Now I see people talking about...
No, I've brought you back a lot of things, and I think the other stuff is going to have to require some drawing.
Oh.
So we're sort of at that point, which is great, because here we are, you know, we're right up, coming up on our 2-hour mark. That's very pretty.
It is pretty, but I'm going to do a...
Trying to get it in those little.
I'm trying to, yeah, and then I'm
Get
trying
that
to
look.
pull some of it. When I push really, really hard, it forces it in there and makes that line
The halo.
rather than a shape, hopefully.
Yeah, I think you got some of that. I mean, it looks like it on the plate.
Slight wrinkle there, but I don't think it's anything earth-shatteringly important.
Oh.
Well, it's a little more subtle than but you can see it a little bit. It had been much,
Here, hold it in a
Oh,
little
sorry.
harder. There you go.
much, wherever it was the lightest there, you can start seeing that. Now I'm going to go ahead and brayer over. Okay, let's get this out here. Look at how beautiful that is.
Yeah, I told you that. I was like, man, that envelope looks great. That's very interesting.
Pink one down here. Okay, so I think I'm going to try pulling this with a light color and trying to get it on to this. I don't know that this is the right thing to do. Robin, are you with me? What I did with mine.
Oh, Carrie came in. Hey, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Hey, well, we're still going. So if you're willing to hang out a little bit longer, we certainly, P's trying to, you know, gel plate print pretty much every envelope I own in my Vellum collection. So it's working out quite well. Now, if you do get to a point where you could kind of cover up the gel plate and we could bring everything back in and show, because you were always saying that I wanted to see what they made.
Oh,
And sometimes they
yes.
don't show it. They just
Yes,
kind of pull it off and then see you later.
And this is the problem with this gel plate stuff, is you just get into this, you get into the groove and you're just like, there's no place to stop. There's just not.
I kind of like that on the pink there. That's
Pardon?
interesting. I like this.
Oh, good. All right, here we go.
Yes, Carrie, we are doing the envelopes have turned out really cool. And so if we get to a point here, I would like to recap and
Yeah.
for those of you that kind of popped in
This
here
is-
at the end and stuff, that we
I
can.
promise this is the last print I'm going to pull.
No.
Oh, maybe the last.
This is like the baby at the park. It just 5 more minutes.
Yeah, 5 more minutes.
Ooh, hey, that's certainly an improvement. It's interesting. That poor sheet of paper, and it's kind of.
It's crappy paper
Yeah.
too.
Well, I told you I accidentally printed it on my more expensive ink.
Okay, I lied. One more print.
See?
Because I just want to pull.
But look at that. That's pretty cool. It's better.
I want to see if I can pull up some of this white leaf stuff with just a really thin layer of
Alright, so I'm going to pull everything up.
majority of it, yeah. Well, maybe not.
I think you should try putting this envelope back down on there and see what it pulls up off of that. I don't know if it will. It's very taupey. You got a really great piece of taupe paper.
Hey, this. By the time I get through with that, you're just gonna think that's absolutely the stuff.
Carrie says she knows the feeling. Just one more. Just one more.
Just one more. One more.
One more. Now I'm gonna stop. Oh wait, that looks great. Well, and these end ones that you always do have about a pound of paint on them. And I don't know where to put them. I'm running out of.
You have the line?
Well, I don't want to. And you got stuff on the line, lady.
Ah, crap. Well, I got the wrong side of the freaking envelope
It's
here.
alright.
Well, you know,
I like that though.
it looks like it got drug in. Okay, we're pulling all the stuff off, Mariah.
Oh, I like it. It's interesting. Here.
Kind of mucky.
I mean, it's a good start to something, I think, with some of these, you know.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I need to replace my paper anyway. It looks like poop. Okay, so recap. Where are we here? Well,
bring you
we'll
a stack
start.
of stuff.
All right, this one, total bomb out. I'm not sure what needed to happen here. I need to rethink this one. But I think that one definitely needs working on. And I don't know. Everybody saw our
Alright, some of these
$2,000 stencil.
$2,000.
That's billable hours that Mariah spent creating this stencil from a single leaf stamp.
Okay, here. Now, some of them are still a bit sticky. Hand me those, you know, that you feel
Okay,
need to.
can you
Yes.
rub a little?
There you go.
Now I
It's
know
like
what-
mixing paint at the hardware store.
Okay. Look at this. I mean, now come on, folks. That's some nice stuff there. Then you see a little bit of the leaf print. And Mariah, you have to tell me if I'm showing them in the right place. That's not spectacular.
Yeah, you're good.
But it's interesting. And again, these could be the first. I'm envisioning taking the stencil and now doing an actual stencil over the top of this. This, I think, is quite lovely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love this one too. And I like that bit of the original color showing through. I need to keep that in mind.
Yeah. And the
Okay, love this. This
Yeah.
is just brayer. You know, sometimes my brayers are better than my actual
I hear
brands.
people say that all the time.
And here we have one of the printables
From the new set.
from the new set. Now, I think what would be cool is to take the stencil and
Yeah.
stencil some gold leaves on there. I think that would be
And see,
brilliant.
I'm trying to hold it in there. And yeah, there you go. Now we can kind of see the...
Okay, this is just getting the gunk off the plate.
Some
And
of that.
I think that these will be nice with some more stenciling
Yeah.
on top.
Or what's cool, because see, like what I do with, a lot of times, especially with these pink envelopes, is I actually just tear them up. And then sometimes these make really great little pocket, you know, you use the edge part, because it's already got the glue bit down anyway, so really it's best to use this side, but you can glue it down on that side. And then they're really nifty when you tear them, and you can do other work to them. But if they're cooked up like this, it's already a little bit distressed, it looks interesting. And this vellum stuff is great to use if you kind of learn its trickiness. It does have some trickiness.
Yeah, it's temperamental.
Yes.
Okay, this again I think would benefit from either
Another go.
another go at the gel plate or some stenciling.
But it has some really cool, again,
Oh, it does.
in there.
Some iridescent, and I think probably that's mostly attributable to the Arteza paint. This is lovely because it got pulled off some of that kind of cream color off the stencil. At the same time, it got the stuff from the... Just remember when you're using these
Love
with this...
that.
Yeah, I do too. This is just probably my most favorite one. Using this paper, it's very stiff, and you have to really push hard to get it down in the crevices of your stencil. Okay, I absolutely love this.
Yes.
This is my new favorite one. I'm keeping that one.
So that was from the Batik-Sepia because it has the brownish
You
tones
can see right
to it.
on the edge.
So we did the black and white version too. But it was spot on that you used those colors with the brown because it really just, it amped that up and did some cool things in there.
Yeah. Okay, this is...
You better keep it. Or
Yeah, I better.
use that.
I want that one. I'm going to put that on. And here, this is just a pull to get some stuff off. But it looks really nice with that.
And we were very pleased with that.
And I'm very pleased that I left a larger portion of this showing around the edge because I think that that's...
Well, and it would be neat to come in with either like some pencil work over here too.
Yes, very much so.
I mean, that's kind of what I would do.
What we need to do is make a stencil out of that.
Jeez. How the swirly bits?
And the swirly bits would make a wonderful stencil. And here is, you can just barely see it. It's very faint.
Yeah, and this is part of the black and white set.
Yeah.
And this has that original leaf, the stencil that we used, this is the leaf image.
Yeah, this leaf.
That was used to create the stencil.
Look how nice those look together.
I know. I tried to kind of put some of the ones that I thought were really good partners.
Yeah.
And it even looks really good with that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, those are wonderful. You did a good job. But what I want to point out here is you've got like the different colors of the metallic coming through in different places differently. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, here's the brayered off gold envelope, but look at that together.
Oh, those are definitely
Is
friends.
that not some magical stuff? And what's interesting is when did the glaze, it picked up on the just remember I went over this at that leaf stencil with unbleached titanium, and that was not such a good choice.
No, I did not. I was not happy with that choice.
But I think that those.
She brought it around in the end.
And I really, Mariah, you should have brought me this back. that needs
I
more
did.
work.
No, I like it. I almost
Oh,
grabbed
see,
it a couple
she-
of times, and then I'm like,
Mhm.
no, I really just.
Well, I think it's a poopy, but you can have it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Just give me another one, would you? Okay, this is lovely because you can see all the little leaves at some point or other throughout there show up in their many forms. Oh, that I do love that.
Oh. What
The
did it do?
problem-
It just shut us down, I think. Crap.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't get to sign off or anything? Well, how rude. Look how good those go together.
Well, I
hon.
think I accidentally tapped the stupid thing. But let's see. We might still be going. We'll see. 1 second.
How do you know?
Well, we'll see.
Should I still be talking just in case we
Maybe.
are? You know, I think one of the things about it is there's really no such thing as a bad print. It's just another print waiting to become a good print. And a lot of these. This one probably, I would print over it again. I don't know exactly what or what, but I think you're starting to get a little bit of what I think should happen down here at the end.
Yeah, I think.
This is just so busy, but it's a lovely texture. And I think if you were using this in small amounts, it would be just spot on. This is still kind of boring, but you know, it goes with the leaf. And if you needed something that was just a little less powsy-wowsy, I think these go very.
I think it's still streaming.
Is anybody talking to us?
Well, I can't get that part to pull back up, but it is still showing.
Okay, well, we think we've lost comments.
Yeah.
Well, this is probably this one. And what did I do with that one that I kept over here?
Oh, there we go.
These
All
are
right. Hey, look at
these
me
are-
finding things.
probably my two most favorite ones, and I'm not going to let Mariah have this one either. She'll just tear it up.
All right, good. I'm glad I didn't freak out. I got the chat back up.
Okay.
We're still live. That was
Okay.
good.
I think this needs more.
Yes.
It needs some more.
Sorry I didn't bring that one back.
Yeah,
it just
me
got
too.
buried.
It got buried. This one, what did we?
Yeah, it should have been brought back.
Yeah, I don't know what we did with that. It's not.
It's just, it was one of those very beginning ones, and all it is a little bit of the glaze.
Oh,
I mean, it's
yeah.
very subtle. It's very pretty, but
Yeah. Okay.
a lot more could have been done to that.
And this is the same thing. There's some
Just to clean
really
off, yeah.
lovely hidden. And I'd probably just go with this. I'm waiting till
Robin said she'd scan them in and then print over them. That's kind of, in some ways,
Oh, that's
certainly what
yeah.
we do.
That way, if you really did like it, you would. Oh, here, this is another good. But this one is just. I mean, it looks like movement,
Yeah.
blurred out movement, but you can see the pattern in there underneath some of that. Yeah, I like it, and I absolutely love this.
I think that's the true winner of the day.
Well, it's-
Because it got your outline, your little halo thing that you really like.
yeah,
The
and
colors are great.
mucky muck on the edges.
But it wasn't even on a printed. So that's the only downfall. Is that it would
oh,
have been
this was a one that I pulled really quick. This is two prints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll keep that over there.
But that is a super winner.
And this is on the black and white paper, which suddenly it became sort of brown. I like it. I think it's a lot more interesting. This is on the, but this is one of the reasons I think that this black and white paper is such a deal, is because you can get it, and then you can make it in whatever color family that you choose to make it.
Yeah.
You know? And again here, this is that rose, that magenta quinacridone magenta mixed in with the gold and
I think that one's cool.
bronze.
I don't know if it's actually if it was some of the ink or the paint.
No, it was some mucky muck on it.
But it's interesting because I was like, ooh, I wonder if it was starting to make the ink in the paper.
Yeah, because we know that can happen.
But it doesn't seem like that has happened anywhere, so.
I don't know, but I do. I love this. I love the little bands seem to be emphasized more than the overall pattern. That's a nice one. And I know this is, you're probably thinking, oh my God, really? Well, if you really turn this certain ways, you get all of this depth of the metallics.
I think it's kind of coming through over on the stream.
But this is quite wonderful in real life, and I don't know.
No, take that down. It's too close.
Too close?
Yeah.
Was it going?
Well, I don't know if it was doing its weird glitchy thing or whatever, but.
Okay, well, it was a good day.
It was a good day, and I think we covered everything that we actually said we were going to cover.
Which is, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Fantastic. Oh, here's another. Did you go through all of those?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I think you did. Okay.
I really, I apologize for being such a downer at the beginning because it just seemed like nothing was happening. But you know, in reality in the world, that a lot of times that is the way it goes. And this isn't a rehearsed performance by any means.
I don't know how you could. Exactly. I mean, there's just not any.
I don't either, and I probably wouldn't be able to follow the script anyway.
True that.
But ended up with some good stuff. Some
Thank you.
Stuff that has possibilities. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate your comments.
If you haven't liked the video, please do. It does help us even in these live sessions to go ahead and click that like button. If you are new to the channel, please, we'd love for you to come back, subscribe, hit the bell because you'll know exactly when we are doing these things. We do the live streams every Wednesday and Friday. Wednesdays, we are trying to keep that to more about talking about what we're doing and trying to figure out what we should be doing on these Friday sessions, which is going to be more of the demo and things of that nature. So if you are watching this back, comment below in the comment section if you want to see something that maybe you watched a video and you want to see us actually do that live. We can do those as well. So all of those are options. And then, you know, we'll see you either next Wednesday or this coming Wednesday. And it is Thanksgiving coming up. That's okay.
I don't know what day. I don't have to. I'm retired.
No worries.
No.
Anyways, thank you guys again for watching, and we will talk to you in the comments.
What she said.